Hey, everybody. Welcome into Locked on Bama. Luke Robinson, that's me. Jimmy Stein, that'll be him in just a minute. You can tell my voice is shaking. I'm a 51-year-old man, and I treated that game as if it were the birth of my children. That's probably embarrassing. Um, it's the dangest. It's unbelievable. I don't know what to say. I don't even know how to process what we just watched. How everything that is Alabama's season was summed up in that game, especially in the fourth quarter, where Alabama gets a break on the punt. They probably get a bad break on the catch by Burton earlier. It was a catch, and they just didn't overturn it. I'm gonna say it again. Quit having replay. Y'all screw it up every time. So quit doing it. I mean, sometimes we're the beneficiary, sometimes we're not, but they screw it up every time. Quit replaying stuff. Just let the game go. Because if you're gonna miss the call anyway, don't take up my time. But then the bad snap. Is the bad snap not just so perfect for what this team has been doing? And then we I don't even remember at third down, we throw Milrow goes past the line of scrimmage again and throws the ball. And if he had run, we would have been fourth and goal from about the 10, right? I think. I'm blown away, guys. Jalen Milroe's throwing the fourth down, though. That shows you what his ceiling is. That shows you what he can be. That was unbelievable. Harrison, appreciate you watching, bro. I'm speechless. My son's here from Ohio. Both my sons, and my son that is at Arizona State was with me. He's like, "This is the dangest thing I've ever seen." And I'm just I'm still blown away. I'm waiting on Jimmy to come in. I'm sorry to be so disjointed, but we definitely wanted to go live with this thing and just get the feeling of it, because that was amazing. I was all ready to come on here. I was all ready to come on this podcast and say, hey, yeah, everybody can talk about excuses all they want to, but Auburn beat us, and that place is just an Indian burial ground, and I'm sorry. And they outplayed us. They played a lot harder than they did against New Mexico State, and we didn't play very well. Y'all, I'm telling you the truth. Like my son, y'all don't know my oldest son. He's got Asperger's, and he's not like a real touchy feely kind of guy. Like not going to give you a ton of hugs or whatever. And I mean, he and I jumped up and just gave each other the biggest hug. It was awesome. I mean, it's just a great father-son moment. But this is one of those games where we're up 7-0. I went to a friend's house because my daughter is at the friend's house, right? And she's like, "Come on, it's fun. People are asking where you are." So I went. And then we have the touchdown call back, and then they score a touchdown. I'm like, I got to get out of here because, I mean, I screwed this up. I'm a big believer in the fluttering wings of a butterfly in Hawaii can create a tsunami in Thailand, or whatever that old saying is. That's not it, but you know what I mean. And so I came back home, and then we take the lead at halftime. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's safe. I go back over there, and then we start screwing up again. We can't get the lead. And then locked in. I can't get out. I finally come home. I think I did this. I don't want to pat myself on the back too much. I think this is kind of because of me. And so if y'all want to, thank me in the comments, feel free. I'm down with it. Jimmy should be joining here any second. He is going to be absolutely blown away, just like I am. And man, I'm so thank you guys for chiming in and listening. I know everybody's just like I am. I mean, you don't know what to think. You don't know what to do. There's so many things to take away from this game. It was absolutely unbelievable. It's one of the dangest things you'll ever see. And the thing about it is that's what happens in these Iron Bowls. This is why this is the best rivalry in all the sports. And they're people that want to tell you the game. Michigan game was good. It was good. It was a good game. It wasn't this. And it'll never be this. And the reason it'll never be this. Oh my! The press conference pulled up. I know some of y'all want to hear the press conference, and I'm going to go to that live when it comes on. Jeff Merriman, I'm going to read off some of these comments, y'all. I'm still kind of shaking. Again, 51-year-old man. It's funny when I went to that party and some other people like, Luke, you gotta. Somebody says, Luke, don't cry, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Very few things bring me to emotion. This thing brings me to emotion. Anywho, when I went to that party, they were like, man, you got to be so self-centered to think you're affecting this. I go, y'all don't understand. I made my mama sit in a car in '89 against Penn State because that's the only time we were ever doing well. We ended up blocking. She was in the car, and we ended up blocking the field goal to win it. So, I mean, who's right and who's wrong? I think it was worth my mama sitting in the car listening on the radio for that. Larry Williams says Bond is the real deal. I'm totally with you on that. What a clutch play. And you know what I love about him? He fights for all those yards, man. He gets after those yards. There was one time when he caught a pass and it would have been a 5-yard gain. He was fighting so hard he actually backed up and it probably turned into a 3-yard gain. But I don't care. It's the effort that I appreciate. And the effort was something that wasn't always there, right? It wasn't always there for this particular game. I think we can all agree on that, right? Like the defense didn't have its best moment. Terry on Arnold, 2 picks. Pretty awesome. I hate that that his last touchdown didn't count. It doesn't. He did step out apparently. It doesn't matter. But he gets 2 picks. And in a way, I mean, I'm on a text chain with some other Alabama folks that are saying this is actually better than winning 55-3. And in a way, I think you're absolutely right. And here's the other thing we got to remember. This is 2 trips to Jordan-Hare Stadium now where we have come from behind in a place that is incredibly this isn't like Mississippi State coming from behind against Auburn, right? Where the crowd's sort of into it, like they're like, hey, we should beat Mississippi State. No, this crowd was downtown good today. Give Auburn's crowd credit. They showed up even after the debacle against New Mexico State. This crowd showed up, and they deserve credit. And that means that Alabama crew deserves even more credit for showing up and taking care of business at the end at a time. I mean, I can't even explain. I don't even know what was it. Somebody tell me in the comments. It was 4th and 31. Okay, I was thinking it was 4th and 30. Holy hell! I don't know what else to say. I'm loving these comments, by the way. I think a lot of you guys are just like I am. You don't even know what to say. I should know what to say. I do a podcast, but I do a podcast as a side hustle, so it's not my main job. We were dead to rights. I think this is a Daniel Moore worthy moment, as Mark Duran has pointed out. Look, Van Penn says we beat Auburn and the refs. They took 4 off the board today. Okay. Again, they also missed a face mask. Let's be fair. Now, the face mask didn't affect anything. That'll be something Auburn fans bring up forever. Okay. It didn't affect anything. Nobody got anything extra out of that. And I thought the hold on the Kendrick Law touchdown was kind of iffy, as Jimmy is going to join the program now. Jimmy Stein, my main man.
Yeah, what happened?
Jimmy, I'm blown away, man. I don't know what to really say at this point. I do have a background I made for us, and I'm going to put it up there, so y'all bear with me.
What happened in the game? I was reading a book.
It better have been the Karma Sutra or something pretty awesome, because this game was unbelievable, Jimmy. Now you got to get the thing, bro.
Oh, yeah. Had a little issue there.
Man, I don't know what to say, Jimmy. You and I were on a long text chain with a lot of friends of ours who were older Bama fans. And, at first, I mean, you know me, I'm always the guy that's like, Auburn's going to play us. They're going to play with their hair on fire, bro. And people are like, we're going to beat their ass. It doesn't work that way down there with us. If we played them in the middle of the season, fine. When we play them last game of the season and they don't have to worry about doing anything else, they can sell out for us. And they do. And again, God bless them. I give them credit. I'm not taking anything away from them. Their fans were cool today. Their fans were unbelievable. Great atmosphere. I appreciate it. But Jimmy,
Saban said it earlier this week. I mean, he talked about voodoo. We played badly. We played terrible. It wasn't voodoo or magic or their pixie dust. I think it was our defense playing absolutely terrible, getting whipped at the line of scrimmage. I mean, our defensive line. Jimmy, I'm going to go back. Our defensive line was terrible in terms of affecting their run game.
Jimmy, I'm going to put on the Saban press conference real quick. I don't mean to cut you off.
Sure.
going to play a really good team next week in the SEC championship game. So I'm happy for our players. I'm happy for our fans. And this was a great win for our team. So I'm proud of this team to come from where they were early in the season to win 11 games, to win the West, the SEC West, and have an opportunity to play, in the SEC championship game, which I think is one of the greatest venues in college football.
Limited questions. Raise your hand for me. Nick Kelly.
How is he so calm?
Because we played so bad.
I think I'm
Well, it was a good
peeing
punt,
right
and a
now.
good
I'm
hang
so
time.
excited. How is he so calm?
30, Jihad did a great job of covering. He was right in front of the guy. The guy misjudged the ball a little bit, was a little off balance, and Jihad was right there to take advantage of the fumble, the muff kick. So, but James hit a couple really good punts that changed field position, later in the game, which I think was really significant. And that play was no doubt very significant.
Yes.
Jonathan McMillan with the quote of the day so far: "Disaster in the pasture, part 2, electric boogaloo." That's one of my favorite lines. I appreciate you, Jonathan.
Well, they've come a long ways, but believe it or not, we actually practice that play every
Come on.
Friday when we do walkthrough and we do special situations. We get in that formation. Everybody runs down the field and runs varying routes in the end zone. And, Jalen made a great throw, but, IB really kind of got himself in position where there was some room to throw it. He pushed inside and the DB was inside of him, and then he came back out and Jalen threw it back out to him. And it was a great catch. It was a great throw. But that is a play that we actually work on. And I must admit that I think you have to be a little lucky for it to work, but I'll take it.
Chris Lowe.
Can you guys hear it on the comments?
Well, that's what this team has done all year. So, we've come from behind many times, made plays when we had to make them, whether it was the LSU game in the second half, whether it was the Tennessee game in the second half, whether it was the Ole Miss game in the second half. And this game today speaks volumes for the competitive character of these guys and the resiliency they have to keep fighting in the game. And it should be a lesson for everybody in life. Overcome adversity, man. You got the ability to do that. You got a great chance to be successful.
Back to Ryan.
Coach, the 4th and short, can you walk through that? Was that, I don't know if there was a check off there, but just the 4th and short play that was called and played in front.
What we did was we tried to get them to jump off sides. And we had a play. If they didn't jump off sides, we called it, we looked it. So Jalen's under center and he looks to sidelines because we wanted to see how they lined up. And they had so many guys packed in to stop the quarterback sneak. We knew that if we, pitched the ball, we'd have a pretty good chance on the edge. So it was really good design and, good situational football.
Austin.
Yeah, 10 years ago, you endured one of the toughest losses here ever. And tonight, 10 years later, this happens. How does that make you feel?
Well, I feel good. But yeah, we've had some tough ones, but still the team that played the best always wins in this game. And we played well, but we had to overcome ourselves because of penalties and things like that. A missed field goal, not playing great on defense. But, I can't tell you how proud I am of the guys and how good I feel about winning the game. But as a coach, you always look at things like, how did you play? Because we're going to have to play at a higher level on a more consistent basis if we're going to have success in the future. And that's what you're always evaluating. That's the reality check that we all have to make.
Tony.
Does that final play have a name of any sort? And then what do you tell Jalen going into that play? Is it more just a good luck or?
No, you tell them they're only going to rush 3 guys, sometimes 2. And, he's reading the guys down the field, and they're doing things to try to get open. And he's got to pick the guy that he's going to have plenty of time. He's got to pick the guy that he thinks has got the best chance to catch it. And IB got position on the guy, and Jaden did a good job of recognizing it and throwing it. And if the play had a name, I wouldn't tell you what it was.
Over here on the right, couple more.
Earlier this week, you kind of said he's the point guard of this offense. How did you see him maybe portray that, especially down the end?
Well, I think he made some critical plays in critical situations, no bigger than the last one. But I thought he played really well early in the game. I thought he played a really, really good game. I thought that, the couple times that he could have run and he threw the ball and we were across the line of scrimmage, I think that he just has to go because he's hard to tackle and he's fast, and just make a decision and go full speed.
Okay, Jimmy, I'm going to stop sharing now because honestly, I really want to get. I mean, I think we've reached the point in the press conference where there's not going to be as much good information. And really, I mean, I have a few things I want to talk about. First of all,
Sure.
Saban's calmness is remarkable, and it really is insane. And this is going to. I mean, there's so much to digest here. You know what? As soon as he said Jalen Milroe on that last one, it made me think. Jalen Milroe, big and fast and hard to bring down. I want to give props to Nehemiah Pritchett for Auburn, who hit Jalen Milroe 6 inches short, and he stopped him. Now, Nehemiah Pritchett had to sacrifice his body. He got hurt on the play, but he did, and I give him credit for that. Okay, I want Auburn people to know. I think that's what this rivalry is about. Nehemiah Pritchett selling out to stop a man who's much bigger and more powerful than he is. That was cool. But it was even cooler the next play. The discipline. This team has had such bad discipline moments at times, but the discipline on the 4th and inches, where we're what we're doing it. I thought Gary Danielson made a great point. We're making them stay in their stance for 20 seconds, and then we pitch it out, and that's tough to get out of that, And the discipline and the pitch by Milroe was so good. But Jimmy, you missed it. What I said earlier, the last 3 minutes were so Alabama football of this year. We catch a break and then we make a good run and then we snap it over our head or to the side of our body. And
Right.
It's some nutty stuff. And that's why, I've seen some comments here like, we cannot play this way and beat Georgia. I'm 100% with you. But we couldn't play the way we played in 2021 in the Iron Bowl and beat Georgia either. So let's assume we're going to play better. I'm going to assume it. And let's also do this. Jimmy, you and I talk about it on the pod all the time. This team's having fun, man. And it's not – we as fans love the success because honestly, Jimmy, I have more fun in the offseason, like thinking about all the accomplishments we've had and the fact that I've gone to a lot of these games. I've gone to all these national championships and that I was there for – 2018 SEC title. I was there for 2nd and 26. I was there for 2021 Bryce Young carving up Georgia. I was there for those things. I take so much pride in that in the summer. During the season, I'm a stress ball. And tonight, I was out of my head. So, but let's take a minute and enjoy the crap out of this because I promise you this: Auburn would roll every tree this side of Coosa County if they had won that game. So let us enjoy it.
Yeah, and in some ways that was Alabama's kick six on the anniversary of the kick six. In some ways, I mean, in terms of that was an absolute miracle win. Even to the point, the completed pass to Isaiah in the end zone, Luke, that was more miraculous than 2nd and 26. It was more miraculous. 2nd and 26, they don't have 9 guys back. They didn't rush 2 and drop 9 and flood the end zone. That was just a normal, regular football play. This was more of Doug Flutie-ish in a way. Now, we designed it well. I want to give Tommy Rees a ton of credit for the design of how the inside receivers flush everybody in. And then on either side of the end zone, we had guys flaring out. but we try to congest it all in and hope that we got a one-on-one jump ball. Because if you just lob it up in the middle and it's 4 of your guys, but 8 of their guys, you could forget it. It was a brilliant design, but it was more miraculous than 2nd and 26. It was nearly the equal of the kick 6. I mean, in terms of the odds of Alabama scoring on 4th and goal from I don't even know where we're at, the 30, 4th and goal. Yeah, from
I
the
muted
30-yard line.
myself. I mean, because you know what? I am Alabama football. I'm going to snap it over my head. I'm going to mute myself.
Of course, you're going to mute yourself on this show. Of course.
I'm going
It wouldn't be a show.
myself. I'm going to do all these things. But let me tell you, it was 4th and 31, Jimmy. It is mind blowing. And you're right. No Auburn fan will ever want to say this, and I get it because the kick 6 is pretty iconic. Totally get it. I'm not so sure 4th and 31 isn't more improbable in the sense that, I mean, we knew we weren't going to make that field goal. I told somebody in 2013 that texted me, y'all will make this, some Auburn fan. I said, we're not going to make this. There's a better chance it's blocked and returned for a touchdown. Now, I was wrong about the block, but the return for the touchdown I got right. And so, in a sense, I think you're absolutely right. The probability of hitting a man that's covered with a quarterback who, by the way, his accuracy has gotten a ton better. But going into the season, we thought he was not very accurate. He put that, it couldn't have been placed any better.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And so much of it's just crazy. I mean, the 2 possessions before that possession, I mean, the offense was great all day until the game was on the line. And then the offense totally sputtered. And then we got bailed out on the muffed punt return. But, Auburn had gotten about the last 27 breaks in the game kind of went their way. Alabama was sort of overdue to get a break, and then they muffed the punt, which opened the door because the offense had done very little on their last 2 possessions. I think it was 2 3 and out. So it was a miraculous win, but I don't want to cheapen it by making it just seem like a fluky miracle when, in fact, Alabama made the play that needed to be played. Great throw by Milroe, great catch by Bond. Defense snuffing them out in the last few seconds. Defense making enough stops earlier in the game where the score didn't get out of hand. Reichard misses a kick. And here's the thing about Reichard. He's going to miss like 3 kicks a year, but they all seem to be in the bigger games, frankly. I mean, he missed, at LSU, the 2 against LSU and then now, bam, that kick that Reichard missed was so huge because at the end, while we're doing 4th and 30 and all that business, we could have just won it with a field goal had Reichard made the field goal earlier in the game. So
let me say this.
We made a lot of mistakes, but it just made more to overcome, but we made the plays to overcome it.
Let me say this. Hey, CBS, I don't even know what this means in Italian, but I want it to mean something awful because you know what CBS did all game long? Every time Will Reichard got up there, they're like, well, he's the best kicker there's ever been, but he's missed 2 out of his last 3. And then he made the next one, and they were like, he's missed 2 out of his last 4. I'm like, quit saying it that way. And then they kept, Gary Danielson is like a head official. Every play, he was like, that could have been a penalty. That could have been a penalty. The only time they actually sided with us, ironically, was the time that Jermaine Burton caught a pass. It was inbounds. It was close.
Inbounds.
It was close.
It was close.
Jimmy, I said this at the beginning of the show. Quit review. Get rid of it. I'm tired of it. Y'all screw it up anyway. And so what? If you're going to miss a call, miss the call and don't take up 5 minutes of my precious time. You know what I'm saying? They just miss them. Just quit missing them.
I have my issues with that officiating crew and say I can't complain about the officiating all the time because I don't, but I often complain about the officiating when I'm talking about that particular crew. I have zero confidence. And they even let Alabama get away with one, to start the game. And again, I'm not saying they're biased. I'm just saying they're not very good. I mean, and I see it game. It's not just the Alabama games either. I don't understand that crew and how that happens. But hey, great win by Alabama to not cheapen next week's game. Next week's game now still feels huge thanks to that miracle win. Alabama, for all the bad things they did a lot of good things. I thought the offense was great at times. Milroe was great at times, not great for 60 minutes, great at times. Running game, great at times, not for 60 minutes. Offensive line protected really good all night. But a lot of that was Auburn because for whatever reason, Auburn defended us differently than almost everyone had all year. They rushed 3 and dropped 8. We saw that a ton last year. I was almost exclusively what Alabama saw a year ago from every opponent they played. Didn't see it all this year until tonight. And I think we made a lot of plays against it, but it also bothered us some. But anyway, Auburn rushing 3, dropping 8 meant Milroe had all day back there. But he had a very congested situation downfield, and they were kind of inviting him into mistakes. Did a pretty good job of staying away from it. Again, not his best game, but really, really fine effort. Running game fine, offensive line fine, defense just in particular, like I said, frustrated with the defensive line, frustrated with the inside linebackers who had been great all year, but were really bad most of the night. I mean, that was just bad. I didn't think 4 on defense played well at all. But the inside linebackers in particular, I thought were a complete mess. And I'm talking to all of them, 32, 30, and 17.
They look slow, Jimmy. They look.
They were just not playing like they had played in the previous games for whatever reason. But the defensive line, again, I'm going to go back and look at the defensive chart later. And when I rewatch the game, I'm going to pay particular attention to this, Luke. How many Auburn ran the ball, 50 times? I wonder how many tackles did an Alabama defensive lineman make in the run game? Probably like 2 when given 50 opportunities. I thought the defensive line was practically a no-show. Inside linebackers bad, safeties bad. Just an F for stopping the run game. Same grade I gave them a year ago in the same game. For whatever reason, they just cannot stop the Auburn run 2 years in a row when Auburn was just entirely one-dimensional, and they still couldn't.
No, and here's the thing, Jimmy. We gave up 93 yards passing, and really there were 2 pass plays, and that was it. And there's no reason this game should have been that close, but there is something about them playing us there, and we can all discount it. We can all say, blah, 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 better team wins, and we did win and all this stuff. But I'm telling you, whenever Alabama's at Auburn, the line's double digits. If you want to make some money, load up on the Tigers. I took the money line, but I think you should take the Tigers. But Jimmy, let's call it a night, because honest to God, I love all these people joining in. I do, man. I appreciate Eric Parham, Marcus Cottrell. We got a win in basketball today, as Jonathan McMillan puts out there over Oregon, but nobody's going to talk about that right now. I'm very sorry.
Good win, though.
I love me some Bama basketball. Y'all know this.
Good win, good bounce back after last night. I mean, to beat a quality team the night after playing so poorly defensively against Ohio State, quality win for Nate Oates. Next basketball game Tuesday night. We'll talk about that quite a bit, or we'll sneak some Clemson Tuesday night talk into the Georgia week we're about to unload on you guys.
Let me tell you this too, just programming note. Tomorrow I've got to take my 3 kids, at one in Arizona, one in Ohio. I got to take them to Nashville so that one can fly out and 2 can be picked up by their mom. So I'm going to drive back after that, but I'm doing it early. Then Jimmy and I will probably do the podcast. I'm thinking late mid-afternoon, so it won't be first thing in the morning like what I would want to do. I want to do that because I got so much to wrap my head around that I think it's going to be better if we do it like mid-afternoon. So guys, man, we love y'all so much. Thanks for joining in. Y'all are the absolute best. We appreciate you so much. There are 410 people watching this right now. We love you guys. Thank you so much. And man, what a win. And y'all go have a beer. Let's all go have a beer or something harder. Anybody got something harder than that? Some meth?
Oh gosh.
I don't know.
I hear good things.
Is that legal now? I don't know. Anyway,
I hear good
all
things.
right, buddy. Hey, Jimmy, roll tide, baby.
Roll Tide.